Friday, September 22nd, 2023. Remember that day at the pond? Well, pretty much like I do all of our days at the pond, Dempsey. That one was kind of cloudy and a bit breezy, but you seemed to be enjoying it. Little did I know that would be one of the last times me and you would spend time at the pond together, and the very last time I'd ever shoot any video or photos of you at your favorite place. In the weeks to come, things would change forever, and not in a good way. You know what? We'll get to that in a little bit. Right now, let's go back. And I'm talking about way back. Back before you. I gotta talk about Casey for a second. Casey was my first little dog, also a Sheltie puppy. My parents got him for me when I was just a little kid. And we grew up together, spent 15 years together. And that time was wonderful. Sadly though, I had to say goodbye to him in 2007. So why all the talk about Casey? Well, let's just say our friendship planted a seed. One that I would realize 5 years later in January of 2012, walking into a local pet store looking for a specific type of fish, not a dog, but out of the corner of my eye, I saw two Sheltie puppies, and my heart melted, maybe because of my love and my relationship with Casey. But all I knew is I felt it was special. But I fought it for 3 days. But I wound back up at that store again and held you in my arms for the first time, and I knew that something very special was about to begin. Of course, I wasn't the only one that fell in love with you instantly. Mom did, and Dad as well. Of course, they would play a huge part of helping me take care of you throughout your life, especially in those early years. And it didn't take very long for all of us to see that silly, playful personality come out. That would, of course, become what we all call the Dempsey doll.
Who is that? Dempsey!
He's pulling your hair now.
Dempsey! Alright.
But it wasn't just the silly side that developed. I also saw your loving and affectionate side develop. A side of your wonderful personality that would help me through some of my toughest moments during our life together.
He's my Dempsey boy. Yes, he is.
And so began our first year together. What a journey it was, full of learning and growing with each other. Of course, you seemed to grow up so fast. By the summertime, you were almost fully grown.
There we go. Let's go, puppies. What you got? What are you gonna get? Ah, you come back here with Dad. You get back here.
The next thing you know, we were celebrating our first Christmas together. No one had to tell you how to open presents. You knew what that was all about from the very beginning.
There you go. There you go. Arara, 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 arara.
The next couple of years were full of adventure and fun for the both of us as I started down a new career path that let me spend a lot more time with you. And I wouldn't trade that for anything in the world.
You gotta get up so we can go. I know you're tired, but I gotta go to work and you gotta go meet Mom.
2013 was also a year of many firsts for you. Your first little brush with ice and snow, albeit just a little bit, but you still seem perplexed by it. It was also in this time I began to see a lot more of your personality traits develop, including your silliness of barking at strange things in the apartment. Well, at least things you thought were strange. And then there was also the alerting me to every little noise you heard outside, which you quickly became my protector doggy, as I like to call you.
Hey, it's okay. Oh my goodness, blah 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 blah. Oh no.
By the time your second holiday season rolled around, the whole family had fallen in love with you, Dimps.
You looking at Grandpa? Oh, yeah.
It was also around the same time that you grew accustomed to having a camera in your face all the time, and you knew exactly what to do. It was so adorable.
Are you ready for Christmas presents? Are you ready for the Christmas presents?
2014 and 15 were pretty much smooth sailing for you and I, with more wonderful memories, funny times. It was also around this time that one of the most unique traits of our bond developed, the ability to talk to each other. I'm pretty sure you understood everything I could say to you, and from your body language, the tone of your bark, I understood exactly what you were saying to me.
What? Whoa. What? What? Tell Roby. Tell the camera. Tell me what it is. Oh.
Yes, these times were quite wonderful. However, big changes were on the way. Some that were good, some bad, that would both work to strengthen the bond between us. In February of 2016, you and I would pack up and leave your first home and my home of 8 years for a new place. A much larger place for us to spend time together, including a nice big porch with a beautiful view of the neighborhood, which would quickly become one of our favorite places to hang out, and a whole new world for you to explore outside.
It's Dempsey's first night in a new apartment. And he's a little nervous. And Dempsey's Betty Pie is all ready for his first night. Yeah.
And after a couple nervous nights, well, you quickly fell in love with the place with all the outdoor areas to explore and sniff, including 2 beautiful ponds with wildlife and lots of turtles, which you became obsessed with, or turdies, as we like to call them. And on top of all that, they even had a doggy park. You were becoming so spoiled. And as our first year in the new place together went on, I could tell how happy you were. You seemed to get teasier and sillier by the moment.
Tim. You silly dog. You better calm down.
Get up, bro. Get up, bro. Get it. Get up, bro. Get up, bro.
Hey.
Yes, 2016 was going quite well. That was until Hurricane Matthew. A Category 1 storm that, well, we all thought would be a lot less scarier than it actually was, and it was our first big hurricane together. And I am so thankful you were there. And you can probably hear that. It's absolutely crazy outside right now.
I know, buddy. Come over here. Come over here and sit with Robbie. I know, honey. I know, baby.
It was a scary time. The power out, not a lot of contact with the outside world. Mom and Dad in the hospital, unable to get a hold of them due to cell phone problems. It was just me and you, buddy.
Sorry, baby. There's glass everywhere, buddy. I'm sorry. You can't go out there. You'll get glass all in your feet. No, I'll spend the night pulling glass out of your feet, buddy.
Yet, I never felt super scared or worried because I had to take care of you, and I knew you were going to take care of me. And that was such a special night for the both of us, but you got me through that night, Dempsey, and I will always be thankful for that. Following Hurricane Matthew in a rough couple months, everything was calming down and back to normal by December. Mom was home and feeling much better, and we were having another family Christmas, and of course, you were getting lots of love and presents. So 2016 ended on a wonderful note. 2017 would start out much the same. In fact, it had one of my all-time favorite memories of family time with you. That would be my mom's 72nd birthday picnic. It was such a wonderful spring day in the backyard. You were having an incredible time, having lots of fun, getting lots of exercise, and even trying to sneak in a little food here and there when you could. Of course, the biggest part of the day I loved was when I brought the drone out and ended up shooting some of my favorite footage of you, some of the funniest and cutest video I've ever shot. if you couldn't tell from all this video just how much you loved everyone, especially me Mops and P-Pops, there was more. I'll never forget your reaction when I would bring you over to their house and they weren't home yet.
You think she's in here?
She's not in the closet, but... Oh, I know. Pops ain't out there either. The first half of 2017 was filled with wonderful memories. Everything would change in September. And for the first time in our life together, I had to face the possibility of saying goodbye to you. I will never forget that September day, Dad and I rushing you down to the Animal Emergency Hospital in Charleston to find out you had a rare condition called chylothorax, which was causing fluid to leak into your chest cavity, and it would eventually become fatal, causing severe respiratory issues. There were only a few treatment options, some natural and different food choices. We tried everything to no avail. The only option left was a very invasive surgery that had a 60% chance of success. It was the only shot at being able to save your life. The days leading up to that surgery were some of the most nerve-wracking and emotional for me, praying for the best, but also preparing for the simple fact that I might lose you. I wanted to spend as much time with you as I could. I even started new traditions like decorating the porch for Halloween so I could spend more time with you. I even followed you around with a camera one day to capture a day in the life, something I'm very thankful I did. Looking back on it now, it just captured some very wonderful moments.
Oh, how about other Pawpaw?
Good boy, there the mobile eagle.
You gonna get the bad guys? What's out there? You tell Robbie. What? Show Robbie. Show Robbie. What's the matter? We got lots of turdies coming. Here come the turdies. Oh, DMC. Now you be nice. Good boy, huh? You ready to go? You ready to finish our walk, huh? What are you doing?
I took in those times together as much as I could, but the days turned to hours and then to minutes, and we had arrived at surgery day.
Look who's riding in. We's going to have surgery today. And I'm just hoping and praying that he's going to be alright. He's been such a good doggy. Everybody say hello to Dempsey. Wish him well. He's a little bit more alert now. Yeah. But they're doing a real good job on him here. His eyes lit up when I walked in the room. He's a very good dog, but he's been through a lot today. See, that's where they made the incision, and they have got him in this nice comfy crate right now, and they're monitoring everything. Oh goodness, I know, baby. I know, hon.
It tore me apart to see you like that. But I was assured the surgery went well, and that it was most likely a success. Only time would tell. Of course, I was much more encouraged the next morning when I went to visit you and saw the spark of life back in your eyes again. And from that moment, we started the recovery process. Getting you to eat and drink again, walking you, spending as much time as I could with you in Charleston. And if our bond wasn't already strong enough, I would say it went well beyond anything you could imagine at this point.
Hey, buddy. Everybody say hey to my Dempsey. Look how good he's doing today. Yeah, I know. Okay, come on. It's all right. I know you want to walk some more. Let me take him for a walk today. He's got one more day, and hopefully he's going to be out tomorrow. One more day, buddy, okay? One more day. Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. After only 4 days, we were on our way back to Myrtle Beach. But you would be staying with your Meemops and Peepops. It was just too risky to take you back home with the stairs and other uncontrolled factors with your large incision. But I was still there with you at Mom and Dad's as much as I could be.
Dempsey's home. Oh, look at that. Look at that look I'm getting. Yeah, oh, no, it's not that hand. Oh, yeah, he's a good girl.
And as the weeks went by, we saw your silly teasy side return and got wonderful news that the surgery was indeed a success, as you had not had a reoccurrence of the fluid buildup. It looked like you were going to make a full recovery, and it was okay for you to finally come home with me.
Dempsey's home. Yeah. It's his first day back to my apartment. And he's looking for his play toys already. Or he's getting into something.
And just like that, it was Christmas time again, and I'll never forget how thankful and joyous I was at the fact that you were there to spend that time with me and to get to see you open your Christmas present.
That's a my fussy toy. That's a my fussy toy.
2018 started with a little midnight adventure in the ice and snow. I had some family time, but then, in March, another setback. This time, you had to have bladder surgery, not even 4 months after your last major surgery. So we headed back down to Charleston once again. Although you seemed pretty bad right afterwards, you pulled right through, and within 2 weeks, you were back to your normal, silly self.
Give me that.
From that point forward, it was quite a wonderful spring and summer with many great memories, including one of my best from that year, taking in an air show right there with you in your favorite spot.
Oh, you gonna watch the air show? You gonna watch the Blue Angels? Yeah.
Of course, we still had to do our checkups with the vet every now and then just to make sure the chylothorax hadn't come back. And every time we had great news, you were doing great. Well, except for the plant that you were quite afraid of in the vet. That always cracked me up.
Just a plant, Dempsey. You don't like the plant? No. Goodness.
While your plant reaction was funny, I'll never forget one particular reaction to some bad thunderstorms we had. You were so frightened we had to go into the hallway, and I was a little bit too.
Oh, goodness.
And the back talk and silliness, oh yeah, that was all still there. Well, a lot more than it used to be. It cracked me up.
Oh, just come back to me. No, you. Tell it to the camera. Oh, it's at Dempsey's birthday. He's getting lots of loving on his birthday. Yeah. Oh, just a happy birthday, Dempsey. He's 7 years old today.
All in all, your first year after your life-threatening illness and major surgery was a wonderful one. And as the year came to an end, we celebrated the holidays with a newfound appreciation of your love. We were incredibly thankful to have you as a part of our family, and it showed every moment we were with you.
ready for the eclipse, doggy? Are you gonna be an eclipse, doggy, tonight, huh? What you?
So what could be better than 2018? Well, how about 2019, of course? A year that was even better, with lots of fun memories, starting with a lunar eclipse that you and I stayed up all night for. I remember every single time I came in from taking a photo that night, you'd grab another toy and we had to play. It was just such a fun night.
Eating like DC dog. It's been a fun night with the DC dog. Oh, I can't play. It's 2 in the morning, buddy. He's pulled every one of his toys out.
From there, it was on to a fun-filled family Easter at my grandpa's house with lots of backyard craziness, including another fun drone session just before we took the family photo. The spring and summer that year was filled with lots of energetic outdoor time and a lot of running, especially when you were super excited, or a little bit of porch time in the afternoon with you, which you absolutely loved, especially on a windy day. There were also plenty of super silly nights where you'd be extra teasy. I'd call you a devil dog, but I always ended up giving in and spending the night playing around with my dimps. What?
Dad, did you do that? Did you hit me?
Later that year saw the arrival of Hurricane Dorian, but unlike other hurricanes, this one had some good memories. Wasn't that bad of a storm, and it all started with a wonderful sunset that you and I took in the night before. Then there was the crazy time during landfall that I thought we had just enough time to take you out for a bathroom break. The rain slacked up a little bit before the next big band comes on shore. Dempsey hasn't been outside in about 6 hours, so he's gotta go. I can't keep him in here. He's gotta go pee and poop. Yeah. But I turned out to be, well, pretty wrong about that situation. That's okay, it was just a little bit of water. We got you cleaned up and dry, and before you know it, well, we were decorating for Halloween again. It was on from that to a wonderful family Thanksgiving with lots of silly moments from you, as usual. And finally, to end such a great year, a big family Christmas, one of the biggest we'd had in years at Grandpa's house. It was such a special time I look back on with many fond memories, especially of you and Grandpa, as shortly after this special day, things would begin to change. We'd have to face some tough times in the year ahead. The morning after that Christmas, I awoke to a dire situation. You had a blockage and couldn't go to the bathroom, so it was off to the vet. I didn't even have time to worry or to process anything. We had to make the decision for you to have emergency bladder surgery right then and there. Little buddy, you always amazed me. It took a couple of days, but by the time we were ringing in the new year for 2020, you were almost completely back to normal. And then came 2020. A year that most everyone would like to forget, and while I share that sentiment in most ways, there were still memories, especially with you, that I hold very close to my heart now.
What are you doing? What are you doing, you turd?
COVID-19 pandemic was a scary time for us all, and for me, yes, I shared that same mentality.
Some scary stuff. Feels a little like we're leading up to an apocalypse or something, like something from a movie, like it's not even real.
But at the same time, it also was a time that brought you and I closer together. When I couldn't go visit with Mom and Dad and couldn't see my friends and family, I had you there with me every single day. And while the world outside was in lockdown, you and I, we were living our best life together, creating some incredibly precious memories.
Oh, another Sunday in quarantine. That hurt. Hey! What are you doing? You're silly, dog. You're gonna fall right in.
Whether it was spending hours by the pond on a gorgeous spring day, or shooting the moon and the planets on a beautiful, calm night on our porch together, you were there for me. You kept me from feeling isolated and alone when the entire world felt that way.
Crunch, 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 yeah.
And boy, was it a happy day when you finally got to go see your Meemops and Peepops. I'll never forget how happy they were to see you and how excited you were to see them. And while things started to get back to normal that summer, there was still a lot of downtime, and I began to see your silliness multiply in ways I'd never seen before. Sadly, just as things were beginning to improve, we suffered a great loss. Grandpa passed away on October 8th, 2020. Another incredibly sad time that not only myself but my entire family leaned on you, and you never failed us. You meant the world to Grandpa, and we all knew just how much you loved him. When Christmas rolled around in 2020, you would think it would be filled with nothing but sadness, and though there were definitely some moving moments, there were also some happy moments. Some of the best memories I have of you and I at Christmas came from 2020 due to a crazy Christmas Eve.
What happened to the puppy? Did he get wet? Was he on the porch when the cold front came through? Oh no! Merry Christmas!
Looking back on Christmas that year, I am overwhelmed with so many different types of emotions. It was just an incredible, beautiful family Christmas, and it was also the year that my sister Christy made me one of the best Christmas presents I had ever gotten, and I think everyone knew why it meant so much to me.
I love it. Easy, look at that. You got the wolf.
Speaking of favorite presents, that was the year you got one of your all-time favorite toys. Yes, the holiday season was a somewhat brighter ending to a very sad year, and as we crossed into 2021, we were filled with hope for better times in the future.
What is it? What do?
Let's talk about 2021, a year you and I both went into with a little more optimism after all the events of 2020. For you, though, life didn't change that much. You were enjoying life and doing all the things that you love to do, spending time together with me. In fact, some of those little moments and little things that we did at the beginning of that year were some of the most precious moments of 2021 for me.
Are you comfy? Are you a comfy dog today? Get fine. Oh, is it yogurt time? You gonna get some yogurt? Oh, you got some on your face there.
The summer of 2021 seemed to fly right by, and well, the next thing you know, it was time for the holidays, and starting with Halloween, a year that I changed it up and went all out for decorating, and you seemed to enjoy every moment of it. You particularly liked the ghostesses and pumpkins that I put on the porch.
There's lots of pumpkin goes out there. There they are. Yeah.
After all the Halloween fun, it was on to another great family Thanksgiving, and in this one, well, you were getting a lot more attention than usual, and that's saying a lot. The reason why? Well, the next day, November 26, 2021, was your 10th birthday. We were all so thankful after everything you had been through. You had made it to 10 years old, and we had to do something very special for you that year.
Happy birthday, dear DEMPSEY. Happy birthday to you. We can't blow the candles. No, we're not going to do that.
Let me hold that up there with you.
Oh my goodness, that's so good.
Tape.
Hey, don't touch it. Uh-oh, what is that? That's a new pulley. Now you have something new to pull up. Oh, that pulley. Oh, pulley.
He knows what that is, don't he?
After your 10th celebration, well, it was back to the porch with me for a little more decorating, this time for Christmas. The holiday season had rolled around again, and it was full of precious memories just like the one before. Lots of decorating and opening presents, and of course, a lot of family time, and you got more attention every single year, and this year was no exception. It was truly a memorable and wonderful Christmas for us all.
We can get up and maybe we go play in the snow. We're gonna have some snow to play in, buddy.
2022 started out with a dream come true. I had always wanted to see a decent snow, to get some video and pictures of you, and to just see your reaction to it. We had had a few small encounters, but that changed on January 29th, 2022, when an early morning storm moved through that brought us a pretty nice dusting of snow, and it was just enough to see you frolic around in.
What you doing? Did you like the snow? Go. Yes, you happy. Happy dog in the snow.
Out of all the memories of that wonderful morning, the one that will stick with me forever is the photo session, where I got you in front of the pond and told you to sit or stay, and I brought out my camera and just started taking pictures of you, and you were posing, just putting on the most beautiful poses and behaving so well, and you were just so beautiful with the snow all over you. And those pictures would become my absolute favorite and most cherished pictures that I ever took of you. Finally, to top that incredible day off, you got to meet your very first snowman, and you were not impressed.
You ever seen a snowman? Huh? No, don't mess with it. You'll hurt it. You'll tear it down. Pretty? Is you pretty? He's pretty, don't he? Yeah. Oh, how you doing? How you doing?
Beyond that snowy morning, the good days and silly moments continued throughout that winter.
I know you're mad because we haven't gone out yet. As soon as it starts raining, we go do the do-do-do-boo. Arf? No, don't arf me. Excuse me? I don't think so. No, just because yours wins don't mean you can say... No, you cannot say ruff ruff. I know, baby. Just another 5 minutes, I promise. He said, Wobby, come on right now. Okay, let's go. Y'all leave. Let's go. Hey, get off me. Don't you give me that. What are you doing? You can't eat that. You come here. You come here.
The spring that year was filled with beautiful weather and lots of rawy-deesy time, whether it was spending the afternoon together at our favorite spot on a gorgeous day, or just chilling on the living room floor being silly on a lazy Sunday afternoon.
You do. You in a silly mood today?
The summer of 2022 started a bit rough when I ended up with COVID for a month, but you know what? It was another one of those times where you being right by my side helped me immensely through the whole thing.
It's okay. You want a cough drop? There's a cough drop.
And before you know it, I was back to normal and doing my usual thing in the summer. And of course, the best part of anything, working, shooting, hanging out at the pool, was when I'd come home and you'd be waiting for me with your favorite toy. You were obsessed with your monkey toy that year. You always got that one out of the toy box no matter where I put it.
Yeah, it's your brother. What you gonna get? Oh, you gonna get the monkey? I can't put on the monkey. What you want to? You want to play pulley with that? No, don't pulley with a toucan. Oh, what's up? DT. Look at that, he's so pretty. Look at that.
As we rolled into the fall that year, we had to face our fourth hurricane together, Hurricane Ian. Another hurricane that would start out with an incredible sunset for several nights, actually. And yet another one that, well, we did pretty good through. It wasn't that bad of an experience, and you always were there to make things silly, yes, even during a hurricane.
What is that? How about a pumpkin toy? Want a pumpkin toy? Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah. Oh yeah. Pumpkin.
Once Hurricane Ian left, it was time again for the Halloween season and for you and I to head out to the porch and start our tradition of decorating.
Is it all done, Papa Dog? Did we get it? Is it all good? Oh, you get the ghosties? You get the ghosties and the stuff? And the pumpkin?
I had no idea at the time that that would actually be the last time for you and I to share that tradition together. And I am so thankful for all the wonderful videos and pictures I took that year. They still bring a smile to my face, just knowing how much fun we were having doing something as simple as decorating the porch.
Who that, DC? Oh, he gonna play.
Soon after that, it was back to Me Mops and Pee Pops for another wonderful birthday celebration. This time, well, you had turned 11 years old, and we couldn't believe it. And once again, we had to do something special for you.
DMC dog. Happy birthday to you.
He's looking at you.
Yeah, I lick it already. Yeah.
Special indeed is what it turned out to be. And the fact that this was the last birthday we celebrated with you made it even more of a special occasion.
He said I gotta throw it to the side.
Did you have a good 11th birthday, huh?
As soon as your 11th birthday was over, it seemed like the holidays were right at our back door. Christmas time had arrived, and so had all our wonderful decorating traditions. That Christmas was a bit different from all the others. You had been slowing down and having a lot of problems with your arthritis and other health issues over the last few years, but you always seemed to bounce back. That holiday season, things seemed to really be taking a toll on you. There was one moment on that Christmas Eve when you felt so bad you just weren't able to do a lot of your favorite things that night, and I remember laying next to you and just really being thankful for you, and at that moment, the slightest thought popped in my head. This might be our last Christmas together. I don't know what made me think that, but it was there. But it was a passing thought, and we carried on.
What is that? Oh, what is that?
Oh boy, what is that? What's that? Oh, he's gonna get it, yeah. Oh, he's gonna get it.
Wow, that's neat.
I like that.
The most amazing thing about you that Christmas was the fact that even though you felt so bad, you still got super excited and had moments of just feeling good and giving lots of love, and of course receiving lots of love from all the family in return. And those are the moments I hold close to my heart, because sadly, it was our last Christmas together.
What is it, but who don't like the fireworks?
You had been feeling better by the time New Year's rolled around, and as we celebrated the arrival of 2023 on the porch together that night, I never would have thought in a million years, even after everything you'd been through at Christmas, that you were entering your last year in this world.
Is that pretty?
The beginning of 2023 had some healthier and beautiful moments between you and I. However, there was a growing problem in your bladder stones and the need for surgery. We had tried everything to avoid putting you through another bladder surgery, but in February, I came to the conclusion that that was the only thing we could do at this point. I had been so worried something was going to happen to you during this surgery that the day before, I brought out the camera and basically recorded everything you and I did that day. Another day in the life. And this was from our last year together, which I didn't really know at the time, but I was so worried. Looking back on all that stuff now, oh my goodness, it's so incredible. Some of the wonderful little moments between you and I captured that day.
What you doing out here? Ain't you hanging out on the porch today? Yeah? Oh, you like hanging on the porch? Did you like, oh, yeah, you like on the porch? Yeah, rough. Aw, what is it, buddy? You just having a good time on the porch today while Robbie shampoos the carpet? Yeah? Aw. Oh. You good boy. Move. What? Oh, what? What are you doing? I'm just gonna go and have a surgery tomorrow, baby. Yes, you are gonna have the surgery. I love you.
After a nerve-wracking morning and afternoon at the vet's office, I was told your surgery was a success. However, this time it would be a lot different. You didn't seem to recover very fast. In fact, you were not doing too well at all afterwards, and to the point where I was scared I was going to lose you 2 of those days. After those first few days, your personality slowly started to come back. It would not be a quick recovery. Even though you seemed pretty well at times, I still had a lot of problems getting you to eat. I remember spoon-feeding you and lots of vet visits, and it took a while, and it was hard on the both of us. But after all of that, everything started to fall back into place, and my Dempsey dog started to come back to life again.
Woof, woof. Who's that woof, woof?
The spring of 2023 brought some happier times after you had recovered from your bladder surgery and many arthritis treatments. You were like a brand new dog, back to running around, well, not quite running, but close, hanging out at the pond and being silly and doing all the things that we did together. It was definitely a happy time for the both of us.
Hey, Dizzy. Hello. Hello. What? Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Did you miss me? Are you done? Are you done being a show-off?
Things really seemed to be looking up until June, when you tore your left hind CCL and were unable to walk on that leg anymore. There are only a couple of options, surgery being the biggest one, but it was too much. I could not do that to you again, and you most likely wouldn't have survived a major surgery and all the physical therapy that would come afterwards. So I opted to help you with a brace that we waited for a good bit. And in the meantime, I immediately got you a harness, and you just blew my mind, Dempsey. You were so smart, and you learned how to let Robbie help you walk. And that way we were able to have some happy times outdoors that summer.
We gotta have the porch time first. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. That's a decent dog. He wants some porch time. Yeah, so I'll get all the porch time, Robbie.
Later that summer, you finally got your brace, and immediately you were able to walk better and really started to improve with that.
He's starting to do a little better with his little brace on his leg, yeah. He's learning how to walk again day by day, and he's doing a really good job. You see.
You know, I have a lot of treasured moments from our final months together, but one that will always stay close to me is the day I got new patio furniture and decided to basically redecorate the porch. And you joined me out there, and we spent the afternoon together, you watching me hang lights. It was like it was Christmas or Halloween, and it was almost fate that we got to do that one more time because, well, you weren't going to be around that holiday season, but I'll never forget that. You were just being your silly self, and with all of your problems, you were happy that day, and it showed.
Hi there, buddy. Rolf, what, you won't go on your porch? My goodness, you want to go on your porch? Oh, no, you're gonna do it.
The night of August 23rd, 2023. I'll never forget that night coming home from an evening shoot to be greeted by your happiness and love and wanting to go on the porch, something we did all the time after evening shoots. I didn't realize at the time, but I was recording one of the very last times we would share that together. Sitting out there on the porch with you that evening, something we had done so many times, I remember just thinking how blessed and lucky I was that you were a part of my life and got to do that. There was also a sense of something else, something in my head saying that I should really take this in because it might not be there much longer. Things really began to go downhill in September when the brace you were wearing continuously caused a bad sore on your leg, and every time we treated it and tried it again, things just kept getting worse. I was beginning to realize that you would never be able to walk on your own again properly. Then all the sickness started. Sometimes it was not eating, not drinking, not even having the energy to greet me some days. Throughout all of that though, you still had days and moments where you were happy and silly, and Dempsey was still there. And I cherished those more than anything.
Ow! No! Don't you do that! Don't you do that! Whoop! Ah! Wait, that's my devil dog. That's my devil dog. He's being a devil dog tonight.
And here we are, back where our story started. That September day at the pond. One of the last times you and I would share time together there, and the very last time I ever shot any videos and photos of you there. I cherish those last pond visits and walks, and those final few days in my apartment together, where we had shared so many wonderful years and memories. as on September 27th, your health would take a turn for the worst. 6 o'clock, and keep us in your prayers. Dempsey is having a pretty bad scare. Finally figured out what's been going on with him, and it's his gallbladder. It's badly infected. I was scared and worried that evening driving to Charleston with you, of course. But we'd done it so many times. We'd been in this position, and in my head, I really thought we would just go down there, they'd get you better, and we'd go home. I never in my mind could fathom that walking you into that vet that day would be the last walk that you and I ever took together, and what was to come in the next few days.
Everybody say hey. Hi.
Getting to visit Dempsey for the first time today. He was very stable overnight. No major problems. His gallbladder is no longer in danger. They really think that something within his heart is the ultimate cause for everything. And we've just had specialists come in and do echoes and ultrasounds. After your first night in the animal hospital, it seems things were improving. Your gallbladder was getting better and your blood pressure issues were being treated with medication. I was even under the impression you might be coming home with me in a couple days. However, all of that changed upon my next visit with you later that night. Everything changed from that moment on. And instead of taking you home, I took you to one last place. One more place, a critical care unit just outside of Charleston that might give you a shot at living and going on. Well, another update. So when I first came in about 30 minutes ago, he was not doing really good. But all of a sudden, he just kind of woke up and started investigating and drank some water, and now we're going to try to see if he'll eat his wonderful variety of food that he's got laid out in front of him here. A couple different choices. They're all gross to me, but... That visit we had on the night of September 29th was one of the last ones where you were awake in Dempsey and your personality was there. After that, as much as they tried and as much as I prayed, I began to accept the reality that you just weren't going to get better. You were slowly losing your ability to breathe on your own. And no matter what they did, you couldn't get any better. And those last days, I spent so much time with you, just sitting with you, talking to you, petting you and snuggling with you. I played music for you. I knew I was spending some of the last moments with you. And one night, as you laid there snuggling with me, as we had done so many times, I whispered to you, it was okay to go. If you were holding on for me, you could go. Dempsey, you were always such a fighter. So on October 3rd, 2023, me, Mops, and P-Pops, and myself, well, we all came to say goodbye and to set you free.
Buddy, look what I brought. He's a monkey toy. Yeah. He always loves sitting on your back.
I think the best and sweetest moment of that visit was when I brought out your toys that you loved so much. Your reaction to the monkey toy, you just loved that thing, and I could see that little piece of your personality. And of course, Mr. Woof Woof, the little doggy that slept next to you from the time that you were a puppy till your last days. And at the end of the visit, I put you in my lap and had my head hugging you as close to you as I could get. And I felt you leave this world as I showered you with kisses and love. Walking out of the animal hospital that afternoon, there was a sense of sadness, of course, but a greater sense of peace, that you were now in a better place and no longer suffering and fighting all these problems. And it didn't take very long for you to let us know you were okay, as we were driving out of the area where the animal hospital was, Mom looked up to the sky and spotted something incredible.
You see what I'm
I do. Is that Dempsey?
It's Dempsey looking.
Oh.
There was no trying to make it out. It was clearly you. It was you sitting in the exact same position that you were sitting in my lap when I said goodbye to you just 10 minutes earlier. I always thought the hard part of losing you would be saying goodbye, but the hardest was coming home and living my life day to day, going through all the firsts without my Dempsey dog by my side. It hurt so much. I found myself taking walks on the same paths I would take you on, and going to the pond for hours at a time just to talk to you and remember you. I remember being set against decorating for Halloween that year. I was just too sad, but at the last minute, just a week and a half before, I decided that I needed to do it because you would want me to do it. So I did it for you and as a tribute to you, and I could feel your presence that night, and I could just picture you wagging your tail, barking, and of course teasing me. I made the first weekend in November the Dempsey Life Weekend and celebrated you the whole weekend by doing things that we had done together. And then on Sunday, November 5th, 2023, we all went out to your favorite place to have a memorial service and say the last of our goodbyes to you. It was such a beautiful and moving service, a wonderful tribute to you, buddy. And although we couldn't see or hear you, we felt your presence. It was as if you were sitting there in your favorite spot, full of happiness and love. Well, Dempsey, I can't believe it's almost been a whole year since we said goodbye to each other. It's been a very tough year since. Going through my first Christmas without you, which of course I made all about you, putting your toys everywhere and decorating the apartment for you and feeling your presence. Going through my first birthday without you was pretty hard. And there were a lot more firsts throughout this whole year. It's been a tough one between that and being sick. But the one thing I've learned, Dempsey, is through all of this, your presence is still felt. You still give me little signs and signals, and just sometimes I think of you and the smile comes to my face. All the things that made me so sad after I lost you, they've become things that make me so happy. And that's how I know, through all of those things we enjoyed together and things that were a part of my life when you were there. Every time I see a beautiful sunset, every time I fly the drone or go out on a shoot and come back to the apartment, I see you there with a toy. Even by doing exactly what I've been doing today, that I do all the time, sitting by this pond and talking to you, I feel you, and I still hear you, and all the wonderful memories come to mind that we spent out here and so many other places. That's how I know, Dempsey. No matter what, you will always be with me, and I will love you forever, little buddy. I love you, Dempsey. You will always be with me, buddy. Always.
Leave that turtle dog. Hey.